What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Dime. It's been a while. Kwab and I are back discussing Summer League 2025
Yes,
and
sir.
LeBron James. What the hell's going on there in Los Angeles? Listen, follow Dime everywhere at The Dime NBA. Subscribe. We're going to do this. Subscribe. We don't ask to
Subscribe.
subscribe. We are today. Let's do
Subscribe.
it. It's the offseason. We had a good year last year. Looking forward to a better year coming up. And it starts with Summer League, Kwab. So let's get into it. Taking a stroll down NBA Twitter. This is where Kwab and I, we find tweets on our timeline. We like them, we retweet them, we quote tweet them, we reply, or we just simply ignore them. So Kwab, first tweet comes from Frog at Frog Fuka. Nice name. And Frog says, Cooper Flagg is going to be great. I can't take the people who were judging him on his first Summer League game serious. I truly believe he's going to be a plug-and-play player. Immediate impact on Dallas Kwab. Like, retweet, quote retweet, reply. What are you doing here?
I'll like that or retweet that or both. You know, what I mean, that's
Oh, like and retweet. Nice.
yeah, it's a perfect description of like what.
Honestly, if you're going to retweet something,
Hmm,
you might as well like it too, right?
yeah,
For the most
yeah,
part.
for the most part, right? It's like, yeah, why not? Why not, right?
You like it enough to retweet it to show everybody.
True,
You might as well
true,
like it. Sorry, go ahead.
true, true. No. You're right. You're right. True. So I guess it would get the like and the retweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice description for Cooper Flag. Like, as a plug and play player. I just even I don't understand if people had like a negative reaction to the first game. I liked the first game to come out that way and be very aggressive. Um, Even though he didn't shoot well, you saw a lot of positives about like the type of player he is in terms of defensively, running the floor, trying to finish above the rim. Throughout the two games he played, he was trying to put people on the rim like absurdly.
Yes.
It was
He
ridiculous.
was trying to murder people.
Yes, like
Absolutely. Yeah, kill.
kill him. Like
Yes.
it was nuts. But you saw that Coach Kidd was basically putting the ball in his hands, allowing him to bring up the balls to show like the versatility of him being a ball handler, and you saw how good of a player he is. There's a reason why he was touted as the number one pick for how many years since like he was still in high school, and this showed. And he ends up on the perfect team where he doesn't necessarily have to do too much every game because the team has a bunch of stars.
Yeah.
So plug and play is perfect. I feel like he has the ability to be a star as he keeps getting better throughout the years.
I think Cooper Flagg is one of the most NBA ready summer league players I've ever seen.
Mm,
I think it's very odd. Like I feel like, oh, you go to the NBA today
yeah.
immediately. And I know players come in, and there are a lot of players that show out immediately. Kevin Knox, and there are a lot of players who you think are NBA ready once you see them.
Oh
But
man.
Cooper Flagg for me, I mean, I was so impressed with the two games. I like you said, the first game in the box score doesn't really show much, but I do think if you watched like a floor game and just his instincts and him defensively, I think he played a better game than the box score indicates. Second game, I mean, just his ability to score the basketball. I reading drop coverage, pulling up off the pick and roll and drop, hitting a midi. He stepped into a three off the dribble. One dribble to the right 3-pointer, nailed it.
Yeah.
Like his ability to take the extra dribble in the paint to get to the rim to dunk the basketball, not settling for like a floater from like 10 to 15 feet off 1 foot. He got to the rim, went up 2 feet, jammed. Like he is a very smart, he's a very polished basketball player. And I think that it's very obvious with two games. He's fast. He runs the floor very well. He's a good passer. I just think if you're a Mavs fan and you're watching this, you got to be really excited with what you got. I think he's NBA ready. I don't blame the Mavericks for not playing him anymore in the summer league. I think after two games, it's very obvious. Okay, we got the guy. He's good. He's fine.
Yeah.
Don't need to see anymore. And against a Spurs team that has been very good defensively in the summer league, I think he held his own there. With the help of Nimhard, but another Nimhard in the league, man. Like
Yeah.
like
Another them hard in the league. Yeah.
Ryan's,
Who
he's
looked
just
great.
basically a clone of his brother. I mean,
Yeah.
physically and like just his game. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great for everyone outside of Indiana and Dallas. But but no, man, Cooper Flagg's great, man. I think he's an all-star. I'm very confident in saying this guy's an all-star. A lot of times we say this with Ace Bailey when we talked about with Ace. I do think there's a very high ceiling with Ace, but I think there's a very low floor with Ace. With Cooper Flagg, I think it's a very, very high floor with him. I don't
Mm.
know if the ceiling is like Hall of Famer, greatest of all time, that type of ceiling, but he's definitely high floor. He's going to be a multi-time All-Star when he's in his prime. And I think as advertised, could not be more impressed with Cooper Flagg for sure.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, as advertised. Very like even you making a point about ceiling. Maybe I have a recency bias just because of watching the finals, this crazy season we had. But like the way he was playing throughout how he was effective all around, all over the floor.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Pascal. How Pascal came into the league and just kept getting better and better and became an all-star. I'm not saying he's Pascal Siakam. I'm not saying they play the same way. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making that when Pascal came in the league, you saw how he went from just being more like a plug and play player to becoming an all-star.
Yeah.
And how he was essentially the best player on the Pacers throughout your run in terms of his ability to score all over the floor. And Cooper has the ability and a chance to do that as he gets better throughout the years.
All right, next tweet comes from SJ Basketball 8. And SJ says Dylan Harper is an obvious star. Kwab, like, retweet, quote retweet, reply. What are you doing here?
Like and retweet, man. I'm a fan of Harper. I've been a fan of Harper for a while. That's the player I wanted on my team, the Nets, but we didn't get him. We got some other players. But yeah, man, Dylan's really good, man. Getting a chance to watch him more closely because him going to Rutgers, which is that's college that's right by me. So getting to see him play, getting to see him and Ace play. So it was obvious. His talent level is just obvious. He's not being able to play the point guard position or even a lead guard position at his size. Like, he's not a small guard. That's a big guard out there. And he's just very effective, very smooth, nice floor game. He's going to get better. Again, ends up on a team and a system that's going to allow him to get better. You're going to work on his weaknesses and highlight his strengths. It's a perfect fit for him. And to me, he has the ability to be a star.
Yeah, I think so too. It actually makes me kind of sad for him because De'Aaron Fox is there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, not that they're going to clash or anything like that, but I mean, he's somebody who I think, like Cooper Flagg, is NBA ready, who can get into the league immediately and go. And I do think, pairing him with Victor Wembanyama is going to be a pairing that's going to be one of the best duos in the league down the road. I think Dylan is that good. He's somebody who I did not know much about going into this season. Admittedly, if you watch this show, you know that I really don't watch college basketball, so I didn't really have that much of a feel for anybody going into this summer league or into this draft outside of Cooper Flagg. Dylan, to me, I don't know what I was expecting, but he's well-rounded. He's more well-rounded than I expected him to be. He's more under control, and he's better defensively too, which the Spurs are putting together a very effing scary defensive team. When you see what Carter Bryant did in this summer league with Dylan Harper, knowing what they have on the back end with Victor Wembanyama, and then the players that they have also on their squad already, this team is going to be an absolute nightmare to go up against within the next 10 years if they stay
forever. Within the next forever.
I mean, the Thunder have been able to keep like Chet and Williams and SGA together. Who knows what the contract situation with the Spurs is going to look like down the road? This is this. We are assuming that Dylan Harper's a star and that Wemby's a star. I mean, he is a star. But
Castle.
yeah, man. Yeah. It's for me. It's just. This is the team of the future. They're the new OKC for me. Like, we knew that OKC was eventually going to make it where they are now. I think the Spurs are up next in that essence. And also, Dylan Harper, to me, man, under control, finishes at the rim. I know this is weird to a lot of people, but one of the plays that impressed me the most was he came off of a pick and roll situation, read the weak side guard, who cheated up a little bit too far, was able to make a skip pass with one hand with his left. I know he's lefty. Cross court, right in the shooting pocket. Guy hit the three. I mean, somebody who handles the ball, that's very important to me, right? This show's called The Dimes because I like dimes. I like passes. It just is what it is. And to me, he was just been very impressive, very good defensively, good defensive instincts. The Spurs got a star here. I can't say enough about Dylan Harper. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. Not that I thought he was bad, but I didn't know what to expect, and he exceeded all my expectations. Let's move on to the next tweet. It comes from Shameless Season, at Shameless_S And Shameless says, I'm buying loads more Yang Hansen stock. That's a perennial all-star right there. Retweet! Retweet! Retweet. Like it.
You've been on the
Quote
Yang train for a while. You've been on the Yang train for a while,
for a
bro.
long time, baby. Quote retweet. Big tariff, baby. Let's go. The future is here in Portland. I am a huge Yang Hansen fan. I have been since I saw the tape on him. I know Ryan Russillo's also been on him. I'm not the first person to make this proclamation, but I saw one highlight tape of him. I'm like, why isn't this guy top 3 pick? Does not make it. He is gigantic. He is a fantastic passer. I mean, he's like Arvydas Sabonis, just a Chinese version. I wouldn't go that far. Arvydas was a fantastic passer, and Yang has a long way to go. But this is in a league where you have Jokic. I'm not saying he can be Jokic, but you can build around this. He can be an offensive hub at the top of the key. Defensively, he seems like he can guard the paint. For now, he does foul a lot. He did foul out in his first game, so there's a little bit of there's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve there. But he passes the ball very well. He has range. He takes it. He has good hands. He could take you off the dribble ish. If he gets a step on you, very similar to Jokic. I think the Blazers got a steal here, man. I really do. I know it's early. I know it's summer league. I know it's easy to overreact here, but the possibilities with Yang Hansen, and if Scoot continues to develop, dribble handoff game with Yang, Scoot's a good passer. I think, man, I think the Blazers got one here, man. I love this pick. I love Yang Hansen. Love what I saw from him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, like I said before, you've been on the Yang train for a while. I think when we recorded previously, you said you a little bit of a hot take. Yang has the chance. Was the one player when you watch, you're like, yeah, that guy's going to be really good, and he's shown that throughout the summer league. The Blazers moving up to draft him was kind of like everybody was like, why would they move up when they have DeAndre
And then they also got a
Ayton?
pick on top of that too.
Yeah. So I'm saying to do that to pick up a center when you have DeAndre Ayton, Donovan Clingan, and Robert Williams. We're like, oh, something's gonna happen, and then they obviously bought out Ayton, so now they have their center rotation of the future with Clingan and Yang
and Williams. And to be honest with you, Clingan's more of a backup to me, and Williams is always hurt. I don't know if he's a long-term option. To me, the road's right there. I know Clingan was a lottery pick. I understand, and a higher pick than Yang was, but Clingan to me, again, he's somebody who feels more like bring off the bench, give you solid 15 to 20 minutes, solid player. Yang feels like he could transform your whole freaking offense if he's passing the ball the way he is, and he can be that hub.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna. I don't think, like you said, it's summer league, so we don't want to put too much on it. At the same time, he's looked fantastic. I don't personally believe he's going to start day one, or
no, I don't think so
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, he's going to end up falling into that. But he's looked great like you said, being a hub from the center position, kind of like in the Jokic mode, being a center that can pass, can shoot, can finish,
can direct traffic. He's pointing people. You go here, set the screen, and then making the play on top of it.
Making the plays,
crazy, bro.
Just really smooth, and he's. That's a really tall kid too. On top of that,
the big tariff, baby.
No, there was a couple of plays. I was like, yo, when he was getting the lane and finishing dunks, I'm like, that's a really tall kid. And the reports kept coming up about how much extensive scouting the Blazers were doing to see him. So they really loved him, and it's shown why. He's been great. He's been great throughout this summer league. He's such a fun watch. Such a fun watch, and it makes the Blazers team look like you said, what they have there, a very talented young piece to add to some of their other young pieces. So it's a bright future for the Blazers.
Yeah, I like what the Blazers are doing. I think they kind of jumped the gun a little bit this year, going, I wouldn't say all in, but they've kind of turned it up to hey, let's kind of start winning some basketball games here. We're getting Drew Holiday. You have Advia there. You get rid of Ayton. Scoot's going to have to take that next step forward. Anthony Simons is somebody who, was attached to the old era with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, was, to be honest, just awful defensively. So I think they wanted more of a hard-nosed, we're going to beat you up and be physical with you type team. Again, Kamara has been a nice addition, a nice find there by the Blazers. I think the Blazers are going to be very competitive this year. I don't think they're going to, necessarily be a playoff team, but it wouldn't surprise me if they fight for a play-in spot here or there.
Yeah.
They were way better in the second half of the year last year. I'm not a huge fan of Chauncey Billups. I don't think he's that great of a coach. So we'll see what happens there. I do think that this is the year where he either makes or breaks himself. I know he got an extension, but I do think that, where the organization is kind of putting players on the table for him to actually do something. It's like, okay, we have expectations this year. This is no longer like lean against the score table and put your hands in the pocket and just watch the games. Like, we want to see what you can do with the roster. But I do think, man, maybe not in year one, maybe a little bit in year one, but going forward, I think he's somebody you can run the offense through. And if Scoot Henderson can develop into anything remotely close to what we thought he could be, you might be looking at a different version of like Jokic and Murray. Not saying that Yang is Jokic, not saying that Scoot is, Murray, but in a way where it's like you have that two-man game with the big and the point guard, and it's their own version of it. I think it's exciting time to be a Blazer fan right now. I do.
Yeah, I agree with that. They, like you said, they have a lot of pieces in terms of looks like they have an interesting mix of like really young players with like you said with Scoot, with even Shaden Sharp.
Shaden Sharp. So I forget about him because he's always hurt. But yeah, Shaden's another one, man.
Yeah,
he's a
just
beast.
another one.
Yeah,
like you mentioned, Tamani, and then adding veterans like a veteran like Drew, and you still have Denny who had a good year. So that's a lesser interesting mix of players. Like you said, it's like with that type of team, they probably have the expectations to at least like if they have the expectations to make the playoffs. It might not be the case, but playing is still still a strong possibility. The West is crazy, but having all these like really good players and really good young players, you could kind of see like this is what you're aiming for.
Yeah, for sure. All right, final tweet comes from Max at Wizards Max, and Max says, Tre Johnson is such an obvious star, it's crazy. The man has an elite work ethic, lives the game, and has a nasty jump shot. This is a future all-star we are watching, if not more. Kwab, what are you doing here with this tweet?
I'd like it. I would like it.
Hit it.
Yeah, I usually like it. Watching him play, the couple games I've seen him play, just an elite shooter. Like it feels like he's just an elite jump shooter. Like he gets to his spots, just rises up, pretty looking shot, like creative with the ball in his hands, can get to the rim and finish. Like just all the stuff that was advertised for him when he was at Texas. So like seeing it now on the summer league stage, you're like, yeah, that's who it was. Like watching the game when he played against the Nets, the first like five or 10 minutes, he was the best player on the floor with like ease. And every interview he has, when they ask him about, what are some of your likes? He's like, basketball. What do you like to do outside of basketball? Basketball. So like, very like seems laser focused on what he wants to be. Like the Wizards are an interesting team. It's just how much young talent they have, and all these players they've kind of just put together with this mishmash mix of like old like talented players and all these young players. So it's like, well, you see what will happen if he gets the opportunity to kind of shine in that on that team. But yeah, I'm a fan of him. So
he reminds me of Bradley Beal.
Yeah, that was one of the comparisons he got was Bradley. Yeah,
I feel like, Bradley Beal's back on the Wizards. like watching him play.
Yeah.
He uses his dribble to get to his spots extensively. I mean, he dribbles a lot. If I'm being honest with you, maybe dribbles too much for my liking. Difficult shot maker. He made some difficult shots. Took some difficult shots. Hopefully that doesn't translate into like terrible shot selection. That would be my worry if I'm a Wizards fan. But I do think the talent's there. I think the ability there is there and the skills there. So I do think that the Wizards did hit on this pick. He's somebody who, again, like I have a hard time trusting players who purposely take bad shots or who like consistently take bad shots or who like have to use that much dribble to get open or, create their own. But he can do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just now when you put that together, are you going to do it at times when it's necessary? Are you going to be able to still find your teammates, run an offense, make sure that the flow is still working within the offense? That's the next step for him. Obviously, I haven't watched too much of him, so maybe he already has that in him. I don't want to be unfair to the kid. But that would just be the one worry. But the talent is there for sure. He's fantastic. As far as being a star, I would probably just scroll past this tweet just because I don't know, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Someone like Dylan Harper to Cooper Flagg, like it's just very obvious, right? They're NBA ready. They see the court. They do different things outside of scoring the basketball. With Tre, I would have to see him, develop more of a game outside of him scoring the basketball. There was this one assist that really impressed me where there was kind of like a semi-transition. He had an open three, and the defender from the wing, from the corner was coming out to Tre to block his shot, and Tre saw that and no look pass to the corner. Guy hit the three, and then while the guy shot the three, he put his hands up in the air like to root on
The
his teammate.
Yeah.
Went in, and that's awesome. So if he has that, if he can keep that going, I'm very, very high on Tre. It's just so when I see players like this show out the way that they're showing out, there's always a part of me that's like, one half is like, wow, this guy's really talented, and the other half is like, wow, this could lead to some terrible basketball if this gets out of hand.
I think with that, especially when you see like what is it the term microwave scores?
Yes,
It's
and that's what he is.
yeah. Are they going to be allowed to do that on the big team? That's what it comes down to, really. Like, to me, so is he going to be given the same type of green light essentially every time when he's on the court? Because
Yeah.
that's if a coach trusts him enough and be like, oh, I know you're a bucket, so go get us a bucket. Like, so is that gonna translate? So I mean that's what it comes down to. But like you said, he's had moments throughout the course of the game where he has the ability to swing the ball, move the ball. I think the thing was that at Texas, his coach made the point like they needed him to score.
Yeah.
They're like we need you to score. So he was like, okay, sure, that's I got you. So you we're gonna see what's going to happen when he plays for the Wizards during the course of the year. Like what you're going to need from him and how he's going to be able to adjust and get better. But I think he has the potential to be a star. That's why I'll like it and just keep it moving.
All right, Kwab. Anybody else before we switch topics? Anybody else in Summer League who you were impressed by? To be honest with you,
A lot.
I think this is a fantastic draft class.
Yeah.
I've been to Summer League twice. That is something that I have been to for work. Not this year, wasn't able to make it out there. And just based off what I've watched on TV, I think the talent in this draft kind of blows away the previous 2 years that I've been there, personally. What do you think about this draft class, and who caught your eye?
I mean, that's a great call. Great call by you. It's like it feels like a deep, really deep class. But coming into the draft, that's what a lot of people said. They said there's a lot of good players. They're watching Summer League. There's been so many players I've just been like, they've had moments, and I'm just like, okay, that's okay. I can see where you can potentially fit it throughout the course of a regular NBA season. For the Hawks, Asa Newell, that's a big being able to run the floor, but he's shown the ability to hit threes. So
Yeah.
he can play the stretch 4 or 5 that perfectly fits in what you want to do with Tre Young. And he had a I think the last game I watched, he had a double, was like 5 from 6 from the 3-point line. Like, great game by him. So he was impressive. Who else? The French center that Timberwolves drafted.
Gobert Jr.
Gobert Jr.
He plays exactly like Rudy Gobert.
I'm just like, came out there, was blocking shots, dunking the ball. Like, hey, like you said, it was like, oh, we have somebody that can back up Gobert. That's what Gobert runs the floor. What's his name? Noah Berenger, Yohan Berenger. Sorry, don't want to mess up the name. He's been having a great summer. You mentioned Carter Bryant before when we were talking about the Spurs and we're talking about Dylan Harper. He looks like a terror defensively, like you said, terror.
Did you see the play where he was guarding the guy who was driving, and the guy he was driving was throwing an alley-oop pass?
Left him.
Left the guy and blocked the alley. What?
With instinctually, it was just like no hesitation. Just was like, excuse me, I have a job to do. Let me go take care of that. It's like, I'll see you later.
God! And then he did a fantastic job on Cooper Flagg. I mean, we talked very highly about Cooper Flagg, and Carter Bryant did a great job on him. So I mean, again, just the Spurs they know what they're doing, man. That organization knows what they're doing.
Yeah, he didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but again, Spurs are the type of team that will develop his shot consistently. But defensively, like you said, that play was like one of 5 plays that had me like, yo, what is going on? Defensively, he was great. Colin Murray-Boyles, who the Raptors drafted, and that whole thing when he got drafted, he was like people were making a big deal like he didn't want to be there, which wasn't the case. Watched the one game he played, looked great, like all around. He was all over the floor defensively. He felt like he was everywhere. Who just pop up offensive rebound and getting his hands on the balls. He basically looked like a Raptors player, which was like the 6'6", 6'7" mold, long arms, can do everything. I'm like, oh, they just got another one. This
right,
is
right. It's a factory out there.
the factory. Like this. It was basically. I know they let him go, but he was basically a Masai Ujiri type player that would get drafted. I'm like, oh, he fits. That's that's perfect.
Con Knipple.
Knipple, and Liam McNeely. The
Culture changers, baby.
culture
Let's
changers,
go.
baby. Culture. We made the joke about who the Hornets were bringing in, but they both. Liam McNeely looked great the first couple of games. Just shooting the ball. I know he was drafted. He was the last one of the last picks, the 29th pick. He's been shooting the ball, been rebounding the ball. He's been a big guard for them. And Con Knipple also had a good game last game. Been shooting the ball like what you're trying to do, have floor spacers, people who can shooters, movement shooters, and they're both capable of that. So great pick by them. They've looked good. Who else? I'm trying to say
No Knicks, no Nets.
No Knicks, no Nets. We're off that. We're off that. Jace Richardson, who the Magic took, he's had a great moments. The knock on him, everybody was saying that like he looks like he might be too small to play in the league. Has fit perfectly.
He's gonna be a Cole Anthony, just a better Cole Anthony, maybe.
Yeah, shooting the ball again, even though he's like a 6-foot guard, he has like a 6'6" wingspan. Has been all over the floor. He looks like you said, a perfect fit for a backup point guard role.
Yeah. Ryan Nembhard, someone who stood out to me.
Nembhard, like you said, you were talking about Nembhard before.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another player. And he's a two-way, and he's looked great. Who else? There's some the Pelicans picks, Jeremiah Fierce and Derek Queen. They both had like rough moments, but also they've shown like what they're capable of doing.
Yeah.
Like their talent is there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Pelicans keep doing with this team, because they've made a lot of moves in the offseason.
Yeah.
But those two, talent-wise, you could see it on the floor. Like Queen being able to spread the floor, make plays. Fierce being able to attack the rim. There's stuff that obviously they have to clean up, but they're both very, very young. So they have the chance to get better. Trying to see who Sacramento, Nick Clifford, who got drafted from Colorado State University, has looked great. Looked great. Like the couple of games he's looked like a rotation piece.
Yeah. This draft class is good, man.
Yeah, like I'm trying to go through the list. Like there's so many players. Yeah. It's so many players, and there's a couple of second round players too, and a couple of two-way players that have looked fantastic. And also we're focusing right now on the rookies, but there's been second year players too who have been able to step up and looked amazing throughout the course of this summer league. And summer league is still going on, by the way, guys. We're giving you this recap now before we've been able to see. So, but to your point, Josh, like very, very deep draft. Looks like a lot of players that might help out teams throughout the course of the year. Just a lot of talent.
All right, Kwab, let's close this out talking about LeBron James. Sweet transition.
LeBron James.
You go from rookies to LeBron.
I mean, we could transition. We got Bronny is having a great summer league.
He is. Shout out Bronny. I'm so proud of him. But this is not about LeBron James. Kwab, I'll ask you the question. We'll get into it this way. Does LeBron James finish the year as a Los Angeles Laker? I was going to propose, like, does he start the year? There's a slight chance maybe he gets traded. I don't know. We see sources online talking about maybe there's a possibility. But does he finish the year with the LA Lakers? That's a more interesting question to me, because that also implies, hey, maybe at the deadline things aren't working out. LeBron gets traded. Yes or no?
I don't know.
Come on, Kwab.
I want to say, look, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. When I make that statement, right? Let's say things are not working out and LeBron doesn't feel comfortable with the outlook of the team. He still has no trade clause.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, wherever he might want to go, it would be like where his decision, like pun on words, it's just like it would be a decision for him to like where he wants to be, and it would have to work out for whatever team he's going to and whatever the Lakers would want also. Like,
Right.
I don't know if a trade makes sense necessarily. Was the rumor that's out there him to the Mavs now, which is like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's for the Mavs. I don't know how the math would work there, but
mhm.
that's basically the team that he's been linked to. It's the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, so hear me out real quick, right? So if let's say he goes to the Mavs, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, like, isn't that essentially the same Lakers team with D'Lo, AD, LeBron, and like Kyrie's hurt, so it's like Kyrie's not the
Well, that's the thing.
Max
But you also have Cooper Flagg,
Max
Kyrie.
Christie.
Yeah, but you have Kyrie and Cooper Flagg.
But
It.
do you think like the Lakers make that trade if they don't get Cooper?
Yeah, I actually think there's a world where they do.
But what are they trading? Like, what would they
I don't know
trading
how the
though?
salaries match. This is the thing. I haven't paid attention to this rumor just for the simple fact that I think it's just a rumor. I
Yeah,
don't think that the Lakers are gonna trade to the Mavericks, and I don't think the Mavericks have any interest on making the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers South. I
yeah.
just don't.
It's-
Um, I saw some rumors like Max Christie, PJ Washington, but again, I don't know how the salaries match up. And maybe you're right. Maybe the Lakers look at that deal and like, I don't want to take anything from you unless it's Cooper Flagg, unless like, we're rebuilding the future. The fact that
yeah,
the LeBron situation is that, he is entering his last year of the contract. He's not getting an extra year. I think he's disappointed in that. He opted into his contract. I think he wanted another extra year after that. He's no longer a priority. For the first time in LeBron's career, he's no longer a priority. And I think that just because he's no longer a priority doesn't mean that Lakers don't think he's valuable. They're just signifying to him, listen, this is the last year that you're under contract, and this is the last year that, we kind of want you. You're 40 plus years old. You are still one of the best players in the league. That's why we want to keep you, and that's why we don't want to trade you. But we can no longer prioritize your needs. We traded for Luka. We're going to have all this cap space in a couple of years. Your contract's coming off the books. We just have to look in a different direction. And I think two things can be true at the same time. One being that the Lakers are planning their future without LeBron James, and two, they still value LeBron James as a basketball player and don't want to trade him. And I
yeah,
think people are confusing the two.
yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I like it's a weird thing that all these reports are coming out even after he opted in and he's basically saying he's taking a look at what the Lakers are doing. Like I said,
Yeah.
it just feels like yeah, he's not the priority right now. Is Luka basically. So to me, I can understand how he feels like hey, like what about me? Because he has been the face of every team he's been on, and but he
Yeah,
is
but
like I said, he is 40. It's it, this could possibly be his last year. You never know. You
I
kind
think
of
it's his
just in
last
a
year with the Lakers
balance.
for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if he
and
plays next year, but this is his last year in LA.
yeah,
And the question that I asked you, because I do think it's interesting. Like, if the Lakers are an 8 seed, let's say they're the 8-7 seed by the trade deadline.
yeah,
At that point, are you trading LeBron James? I think it's very possible he can get traded by the deadline to a team that wants to contend and who thinks LeBron James is that missing piece. And then you trade LeBron, and now the future's all Luka, cap space for later. Like, what do we do now? I think it's very possible, man. But I
but
do
what?
think I think he starts the year with LA.
Yeah, I think he starts too. But what happens? What team, right, is in this hypothetical? What team is making that trade? Is it a team that's in playoff contention? That's me.
A team that's like, if we get LeBron James, we can win it all. I could see like Dolan doing that crap, like the Knicks. I can see. I know we're talking about Dallas now, me saying no to Dallas, but maybe Dallas.
Yeah,
Maybe Dallas gets in a position where they're like, hey, we're a LeBron James piece away from winning this. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I don't think LeBron would want to go to the Grizzlies or a team like that, but like there are certain teams every year where you're like, oh my God, if they just added LeBron or if they added this one piece, they're one piece away. This could really
yeah,
be something. Cleveland, again, like I don't know what the Lakers would want in return, but LeBron going back to Cleveland with that roster in that conference without Tatum and without Dame and without Tyrese this year, that makes some sense depending on what Cleveland gives up. I'm not doing the math here. I'm not, going down the rosters to mix and match what the deal would look like. But I do think there are teams in the league when the trade deadline comes where it's like, yeah, LeBron actually might make sense here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, he at even when he's like 50, he's still LeBron.
Yeah.
He's still been effective. To me, the only thing that comes down to is like you said is the math because of the contract, but it's also the fact he has a no trade clause, so he can decide where he wants to go. A team can be like, hey, you can be the missing piece, but
Right.
he like, I'm not coming here. I
And that's
don't.
why, no offense to Memphis, that's why I kind of just like hesitated with like a Memphis, right? LeBron's not
Yeah,
going to go to Memphis.
yeah.
He's not going to go to an Orlando. He said in the past he would never go to play in Orlando. He's actually that's come out of his mouth.
That's crazy, but
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, but it's
But
like
that's what I'm saying.
what
So
team?
like it,
Yeah,
also, I've heard that he doesn't want to play for Dolan either. So maybe he says no to New York. But I do think like Cleveland he would say yes to. Why not? That's like that's his city. Golden
yeah.
State is another option. Who knows what that looks like? I think he would love to play with Steph. I think he would love to play for the Warriors. So there are a few teams I think LeBron would say yes to if he really is, hey, I want to win another championship. I'm all about winning. My Lakers are a 7-8 seed. Get me somewhere I can win. Depending on what the standings look like, I think there are multiple places that LeBron can go, and I do think it's a possibility he gets traded somewhere.
Is there any chance? I mean, there's a chance about this. I don't know why I'm asking, but is there any chance he just sticks with the Lakers? They kind of figure it out because to me, the West is super loaded, but we don't we when we look at the Lakers roster, we're like, well, it feels like you're missing pieces in order for them to be
Yeah,
like in the upper echelon of the West teams. But they still have, if they still have Luca, you still have LeBron, you still have a player that's been effective as Austin Reeves. You're still a really good team at the end of the
yeah,
day.
and the Lakers showed flashes too. I remember going into this playoffs last year saying that the team, if there was one team I think that could beat OKC and give them fits, was the Lakers. Not me saying that the Lakers were the best team in the West. Not me saying that I think the Lakers are going to win everything, but I do think they matched up well with OKC. And I do think going into next year, you add DeAndre Ayton now, which is the center which they always needed. Maybe
Yeah,
he performs consistently this year. I think Jake LaRavia is an interesting piece to add because he's like a Swiss Army knife. He's somebody who can do different things. I think the Lakers are a better team than they were last year. I just don't think they're better. I don't think they got better enough where they've leapfrogged both T-Wolves, who beat them in the playoffs. The Rockets got better. The Thunder are still the Thunder. They're going to get better.
yep.
So to me, you still have teams. The Nuggets, I think the Nuggets won the offseason.
The Nuggets got
So
better.
even though the
Yeah,
Lakers did get better, I don't put them in the echelon of contenders. Now maybe they are. Maybe DeAndre Ayton that's all they needed. They needed a center just like him to be a threat on the offensive end, and he plays great defense. And Jake fits in perfectly, and LeBron's still in shape, and Luka's having a career year. Like maybe that puts him over the top. It's very possible. But right now, I don't see the Lakers as contenders. And so
yeah,
for me, I think that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers organization, I think they're going to go into this year knowing that they do have a high ceiling, because I do think they do have a high ceiling, and to seeing if they can fulfill that high ceiling. And I think we'll know like 30 or so games into the season whether or not LeBron's going to be on the trading block or not.
that's crazy. Three games in the season is
30,
crazy.
30, 30.
30. Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
said 30.
yeah.
I'm like there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm out.
30. Yeah.
The Lakers are 1-2. Fire
Get rid
sale.
of him.
No.
But that's
30.
that's Lakers Twitter. That's Lakers Twitter.
Yeah,
Though.
that is Lakers Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's a good assessment. Like you can find out like about 30 games in the season what they're going to be,
Yeah, if you're
what
16
they
and
might
14,
need.
it's like, what are we
Yeah,
doing here?
yeah,
What? And the Lakers, Rob Pelinka has made trades at deadlines where the season has turned around, right? That one year when
yeah,
they went to the Western Conference Finals after trading, for D'Lo, like it is possible, but
yeah. Like trading for Luca. Like yeah,
yeah,
like
no big deal.
yeah, no big deal. Like,
I
so
do. You always have a chance with Luka. You always have a chance with LeBron. It's just whether or not they reach that ceiling.
yeah, and I can't. And reason why I say I don't know when it comes to LeBron being traded is because I never thought Luca would be traded. So that's always been that's my baseline when I'm like, yeah,
No, I could
I
see
don't
it
know.
happening, man.
Anything can happen.
I really could see it happening. To what team I don't know yet. Obviously, when the trade deadline comes, we'll have a better idea of what that is. But he's been linked to like the Cavs, the Warriors, the Knicks. Like
And
I
whatever
think
team, and does that team that's trading for him, right? Are you trading for LeBron? Or are you gonna know if you make this trade, you're trading for LeBron and Bronny?
that I don't know. That's a good
Because
question.
because I don't like that's the other factor. Like, is it gonna be a case of like, dear, if that's the possibility if LeBron
I
being
don't think so.
traded, is that a package deal?
I think Bronny is in a position now where I think he's comfortable with the Lakers organization. I think they've handled him very well. He seemed like this summer league, he seemed to be a completely different player. He seems more confident. He
Yeah.
seems like an NBA player. I remember last year in summer league, people were like, he's not an NBA player. Like, what are we watching right now? I think Bronny is developing into a nice player. Like, obviously, he can get better at things. I think he needs to be a better ball handler. I think he needs to be able to be a plus defender at his size in order to stay on the court.
Yeah.
But he's showing signs that like he can hang in this league. I don't think it's almost like a child, like Bronny is LeBron's child. It's like, are you going to keep moving your child to different homes, different cities? Like at some point, they need a stable environment, and I think LeBron knows that. I think LeBron does know that it's probably best for Bronny's development if he stays with an organization who has been with him from the beginning and who has been developing him. So I don't think Bronny goes to LeBron. I don't think it's a package deal.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I like you said, we both don't think he will be traded before the season starts.
Yeah.
But we can wake up in a couple hours and get a shams wow and be like, yo, what the heck is going on?
And then this episode is ruined.
It's ruined. And that happens sometimes. That's the nature of the business. Like you said, that's the nature. It happens.
Oh
but
man.
It's been, this has been like the hot rumor that's been circling throughout the all season. Now it's like what's happening with Bron.
Yeah, we haven't addressed it yet, so I figured we'd address it now.
And I don't know if him not being the possibility of him being traded is what's like kind of holding up other moves.
Yeah.
Because we're also expecting the Bradley Beal buyout, which hasn't happened yet. So we're waiting for that to happen to see where Bradley Beal is going to end up.
You see, Jason McIntyre said if Bradley Beal goes to the Lakers, they're the favorite to win the championship.
Sure. You can have... Sure, buddy. That's an opinion. So hey, sure, that's an opinion. Okay. We don't know. Like I said, we don't know. If by the way, if you guys want to check out, we had an episode where we did Beal or no Beal.
Yes, we did.
So we talked about where Bradley Beal's going to end up. So if you guys
and that laugh wasn't me signifying that I think Bradley Beal is trash, because we talked about on Beal or no Beal that we value him and we think he can be a valuable asset. It's just, man, the Lakers, man.
It's every year. It's like it's championship or bust, and every move is a champion.
Man, every comment, we don't get many comments on our Lakers stuff. Actually, our Lakers stuff doesn't do well compared to other teams. But when Laker fans find our stuff, they're not kind.
They loved your team. They believe very highly in their team, and you're very passionate about your team. So it is what it is. We try to take a realistic viewpoint about it. Like you said, you have a chance if you have Luka and you have LeBron. And hopefully Ayton shows the level of consistency you would want from a number one pick. So especially being on the team where it has multiple high level playmakers, and his job will just be to play defense and finish. And JJ Redick is gonna make sure try to put him in the best spots on the floor with how creative the offense is. So going into the season, if this is the team and we're looking at whatever this lineup is, it's an interesting team. To me, my issue with this team has been like, okay, well, you lost DFS. Your lineup feels like devoid of a stopper, essentially a wing stopper.
I agree.
And if you're counting on 41-year-old LeBron to be that every night for you, that's kind of tough.
It's gonna be Vando.
That's kind of tough. But everybody's talking about Luka's coming in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
All this stuff. So I mean, we'll see.
They're gonna rely on Van. See, the thing is, you got to play Vanderbilt.
Play Vanderbilt.
What lineups do you play him in, and how much do you play him? Do you play him down the stretch? Like that's gonna be the balancing act that JJ is gonna have.
Yeah, and if they find any other gems on the roster that they can use to kind of push that, we'll see. So it's gonna be an interesting year. But like, I personally would like to see LeBron not go to another team. I just would like him to maybe they figure it out and kind of they find a way to like win another one on the Lakers.
I would love to see the Lakers do well.
Yeah,
I think the league is better when the Lakers are doing well. I love LeBron. LeBron's one of my favorite players ever.
Yeah.
So seeing him in the playoffs, I think would be fantastic. A long run would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for LeBron in a sense, but LeBron James getting crazy would also be traded would also be crazy. So
yeah,
I don't know. It'd be fun either way. This is gonna be such an interesting year. It's
if LeBron gets traded, we'll probably go live. We'll probably do another live episode like we did with the Luka getting traded live because that was nuts.
that was
So
nuts.
like you said, it's going to be a very, very interesting year.
All right, well, let us know what you think in the comments. Also, make sure to follow the Dime everywhere at the Dime NBA. Subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are growing, ladies and gentlemen, trying to get the word out there. You can follow us everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, AKAS. We'll see you next time for another episode of the Dime. Peace.